What's up? My name is Chad Barnier and welcome to my musical theatre introduction series. In today's video, I wanted to introduce to you a hilarious tongue-in-cheek musical called Something Rotten. This series is all about introducing you to new musicals, whether that's a classic show you haven't seen before or a new show you don't know that much about. Or perhaps if you're like me, you listen to the same cast albums on repeat forever and ever, and your neighbors have politely requested that you mix it up a little bit. One of the best things about musical theatre is that there's always a new show for you to sink your teeth into. However, sometimes you have to research a new show like it's a school project just to understand the context of the songs you're listening to. And sometimes you just want someone to recommend you a new show with enough background to enjoy it. This series is me doing that research for you and making that recommendation. You can watch the other videos in my introduction series by checking out the playlist. I'll be adding new videos every week so you can always be discovering and falling in love with new musicals. Before we get started on today's video, if you love musical theatre and you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. Not only does it help me understand what kind of content you like, but it also helps other people get introduced to new shows. And I always think the more people that love musical theatre, the better. Something Rotten is a comedy musical set in Renaissance England and tells a tale of two playwright brothers who are struggling to catch their big break because they live in the shadow of none other than William Shakespeare. After a few bad ideas and creative differences, the two brothers finally kind of happen upon the idea of creating the world's first ever musical. They come across this idea by visiting a soothsayer or a fortune teller to ask what the next big idea is in the theatre, and the soothsayer says musicals. William Shakespeare is played as a Russell Brand-esque kind of rock star who really enjoys being famous more so than enjoying the thing that makes or made him famous, which is his writing. Those two contrasting points of William Shakespeare on one hand loving being famous but not really wanting to do the work to stay famous, and Nick Bottom's desperation to do anything to get there makes for a really fertile ground for comedy and a whole bunch of antics that I won't spoil now. Lots of funny things happen from that point. I'm not going to spoil any of the musicals in this introduction series. I'll leave it to you to listen to the show to kind of get the full impact of that. So let's talk about the incredible team that put this show together. The book for this musical was written by John O'Farrell and Kerry Kirkpatrick, with music and lyrics been written by Kerry and his brother Wayne Kirkpatrick. Wayne has written music for a whole bunch of incredible artists like Garth Brooks, Faith Hill, and even won a Grammy Award for his work with Eric Clapton on the song Change the World. You might not instantly recognize the name Kerry Kirkpatrick, but you definitely recognize some of his incredible work, including Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Rescuers Down Under, James the Giant Peach, and Chicken Run. Now, theatre nerds will absolutely recognize the name Casey Nicholaou, who choreographed and directed the show. Casey's other work includes Spamalot and Aladdin, The Drowsy Chaperone, Book of Mormon, and that's just a couple of the shows he's worked on. That's a pretty impressive resume. Something Rotten was nominated for 10 Tony Awards and took home the Best Featured Actor Tony for Christian Bale's portrayal of William Shakespeare, which is a fantastic segue into talking about the cast of the show. Now, I'm not going to go through everyone who's played every role in every production of the show because this video would be 20 minutes long. But some of the standouts include one of my favorite actors, Brian Darcy James. Brian makes his way onto my dream cast wish list for every show ever and is known for shows like Hamilton, Shrek, and Wild Party. As I mentioned before, William Shakespeare is portrayed by Christian Bale, who won the Tony Award for Best Featured Actor, and you might recognize the name Adam Pascal, who played Roger in the original Broadway cast of Rent the Musical, my personal favorite. Adam plays William Shakespeare on the US national tour of Something Rotten. Other standout roles include John Cariani from The Band's Visit as Nigel Bottom, Brad Oscar from Spamalot as Nostradamus, and Heidi Blinkenstaff from Freaking Friday as B. Bottom. I would recommend the show to anyone who loves comedic theatre like Monty Python's Spamalot or The Producers or Little Shop of Horrors. You should definitely check out this show. The cast album is absolutely magical, and I find myself singing it all the time. Some of my favorite songs include the track God, I Hate Shakespeare, which is hilarious, a musical which they performed at the Tonys and is chock-a-block full of musical theatre references and winks to the audience. So if you're a theatre fan, you'll absolutely love that one. And the song Hard to be the Bard, which is Will Shakespeare's lament about the things that come along with being famous. So a quick fun fact, in August 2018, it was announced that the team that brought Something Rotten to life will be working to do an adaptation, a musical adaptation of one of my favorite movies, Mrs. Doubtfire. And usually when people do an adaptation of one of your favorite properties, you can get a bit nervous, but I love this musical so much, and the comedy is so in line with that of Mrs. Doubtfire that I'm so excited. So that's really fun to look forward to as well. So question of the day, which musical would you like to see me do an introduction video for next? This is a brand new series, and eventually I'd love to get around to introducing and doing a video for every musical I can think of, but I want to make sure that I'm doing videos that you guys want to watch. So what musical have you wanted to see and you don't know much about that I can help kind of introduce you to? Thank you so much for watching the video. It really means the world to me. If you did enjoy this video and you love musical theatre, please consider subscribing so I can keep making videos for you guys. I'll probably keep making them for myself anyway, but it'll be helpful to have other people listen to my ranting. I hope you enjoy Something Rotten, and I'll see you next time.